Good afternoon, welcome back. Finally, today I'm going to discuss the last Bardo, which is called the Bardo of Becoming. So we have gone through all the stages, Bardo of this life, Bardo before moment, before death, and Bardo of Dharmata, and today is the Bardo of Becoming. So when you keep missing chances during the Bardo of moment before that, and Bardo of Dharmata, when all the 100 deities appear one after another, and if you miss this opportunity to recognize even one of the deities, then we finally end up with Bardo of Becoming. So when this Bardo occurs, what happens is earlier, whatever the being in Bardo tend to see is whatever he or she has done in their previous lives. From now on, the previous life becomes it fades away gradually, and the future life become clearer and clearer, which shows that we are in the Bardo beings are in Bardo of Becoming.
现在上师就来开始。
So what happens is a person when he or she's live may have problem with the eyes, or who are blind, deaf, who are not able to work. However, when the person is in Bardo, if this person is able to see and walk and hear, when their senses become perfect, this is also a sign of Bardo. And Bardo beings also tend to have certain degree of miraculous power, not because they have meditated in their previous life, not due to their practice. This is mainly due to their good karma. Therefore, this shows, or these are the sign of beings in Bardo.
它会出现很多不同的征兆。
So being in Bardo, there are many different candidates. Some are going to reborn as a human being. Some may reborn as beings in God realms. So among the same candidates, suppose there are beings who are going to reborn in God realm, so they are able to see and communicate each other, but not with other other beings who are going to reborn in other different realms.
那么在景象会影响到他。
And as I mentioned over again and over again yesterday, that we have to keep reminding ourselves of beings in Bardo by residing Bardo total, not to have attachment to anything, to belonging, family or friends, and not to be angry in such a critical juncture, because these two factors will imprison us in samsara, which means we may wander into 6 realms and we may not find a place such as Amitabha Pure Land and other Pure Land. So these are the two things that we have to keep reminding ourselves. And of course, praying to Yogidam, whoever is Yogidam, it will have all our Buddha or Amitabha if you can't remember other Buddhas. So it is very important to have this all the time, have this in our mind all the time.
过程我们必须要牢牢记住。
And also, from yesterday's discussion, we learned that we don't have a physical body in Bardo. We only have a mental body. Therefore, it is much easier to change our thought, change our mindset, because we don't have a physical body. And also, Bardo Total, the teaching about Bardo, keep reminds us that in Bardo, we are constantly threatened by many other forces, and we are constantly harmed, frightened. So beings in Bardo, they are always looking for a way to escape from such environment. Therefore, they will try, according to Bardo Total, they will try to escape from such situations. However, it is very difficult because you are in Bardo and they try to hide inside the rock, under the cave, or inside the lake. However, according to Bardo Total, there are 2 places that they can't really go in. One is Bodh Gaya Stupa. They can't hide under the Bodh Gaya Stupa. And the second is Mother's Womb. So during the Bardo of becoming, there are 2 important things that we need to remember. First, we need to practice a practice that we will come across when you go further down, how to prevent to reborn in lower realms. Because there's so much of eager, wish to reborn immediately because the suffering is so much. So sufferings are unbearable in Bardos. So sometimes when you wonder, there are people, I also met a few times that people say that, this life is full of suffering, but then I should take over my own life, so I'll be happier. But it's not really true. But when you're in Bardo, it's worse. And if you can't handle this life, Bardo will be impossible to handle, So better when you're still alive, one should try to find a way to find a solution. Otherwise, if you're in Bardo, it is impossible. Now what happens is, due to our bad karma, we can't prevent because the wanting and wishing is too strong. So now, finally, what we need to do is choose the right space. So these are the 2 main points that we will discuss intensively. Okay?
一一的来跟我们讨论。
So beings in Bardo, as I mentioned yesterday, they are 9 times cleverer, smarter than when they are still alive, because due to our physical body, it somehow obscures our wisdom. According to some of the biography from some of the yogis in India, clearly stated that when you enter animal body, then the capacity of your wisdom tend to go down. It's much much less wiser. You become less wiser than the human being. I will tell you a story. Saraha, a well-known yogi and scholar in Buddhism, and in today many of his teaching we still follow and practice. And he told us one story in his teaching that he was traveling to, I think, Tibet or with another Brahmin scholar, because he couldn't speak languages other than Sanskrit or Pali, whichever language is their own language. So on the way, they passed by one village, and then they found that the whole village people were very sick because due to the body of poisonous snakes. So the snake was so huge and so poisonous, so a lot of people were sick and they couldn't remove the body. So he was lying along the roadside. So at that time there's a practice called Powa Tungju. This was even in practice until second karma, but then the lineage was broken. So today nobody knows how to do that. So this practice teaches us how to enter someone's body when we're still alive. So Sarah said that Sarah was very handsome. He was very handsome. But then his friend Brahman was not so handsome. Not so handsome. So Sarah said, okay, I'm going to enter this body and I will move away so that villagers are safe. Meanwhile, please look after my body. The Brahman said, okay, no problem, I will do that. So when Sarah entered the snake body, he felt that bit down, there's a lot of dullness, a lot of unclarity, he could feel immediately. So he managed to move away, quite far away. So when he returned, this Brahman also who also mastered the same practice. So he entered Sarah's body because he was so handsome, he ran away. So Sarah had no choice. So he has to enter this other Brahman's friend body who seems to be very ugly. Yeah? And today, if you see the picture from painting of Sarah, who looks very old and very ugly, this is what happened. So Bardo beings, they try to enter everybody. The moment we think about them, they are instantly there, because they don't have a physical body, they can be anywhere. And also due to their karma, they tend to have a certain degree of quality of clairvoyance.
非常重要的，它的影响力是很大的。
So, beings in Bardo, they do not have a physical body, mental body, only mental body. So they're able to see everything. Gradually their connection with the present life fades away, but the future life becomes clearer and clearer. And when they notice their family member crying, or somebody is laughing at them when somebody dies, there will be always someone laughing or somebody crying. So there's so much of pain that beings in Bardo has to endure. So according to Bardo Todo, what is most important is to learn how to let it go. Because even in this life, when you refuse to let it go things of the past, you will never find true peace and happiness. Because holding back the action of your past does not really do not really help you now. So we have to learn from now how to let it go. So not to have attachment to anything. And what will be more meaningful, what can really help us in Bardo is what we practice now. So this is the advice again and again emphasized by many gurus, and especially in Bardo Todo, we are encouraged to practice more Bardo Toto.
念诵呢是非常重要的修持。
So in Bardo, there is a so-called Karmic wind, and the sound what you hear is always threatening and always frightening. So you are chased away all the time, and you never will find a peaceful place to rest. But like now, when we are still alive, we can rest anywhere. But in Bardo, there's no such luxury. So you are chased away, and you are chased all the time. You know, like, it's so funny, like, you know, my own experience. Of course, no, I'm not in Bardo. Yeah, I'm Bardo of this life. You know, when I was in Hong Kong, and I was walking in the street, and then you know, then I tend to walk faster and faster and faster, and I realized why I'm walking so fast, because I don't have to do anything. It seems like people walk so fast in the street, and somehow somehow you follow the others, and you tend to walk very fast. So I could, see that, probably this is the same thing happening in Bardo. The Karmic is so strong. So you push, you're always running away, and the sound that you hear is always unpleasant.
在中阴的时候发生这样的问题。
And this is the part that is very much emphasized in also Bardo Toto. When we are in Bardo, we tend to see like a very steep cliffs, red, white, and black color all the time during the Bardo journey in Bardo. So according to Bardo Toto, why we are seeing all this is because of the three poison: hatred, attachment, ignorance. So now all this poison actually comes in the form of steep cliff, like a hill. So it becomes harder for you to cross.
像呢也会失去那个机会。
So even when we are alive, a person who work very hard, or person who are well able to enjoy, and a person who don't have wealth or power or whatever, there's the enjoyment is very limited, and there are persons who have just a simple life. Similarly, in Bardo, if you have cultivated some merits, then you are invited to a place where you can be happy for a moment, And if you have committed crime, then you are always threatened all the time, and the neutral karma also lead us to between, so not so joyful, not so sorrowful, what we call so-so, yeah. So that's what we are supposed to experience in Bardo.
让他们转身到更好的道。
Again and again, we are encouraged and not to have attachment, because attachment and anger are the two serious issues that we need to overcome. Even in this life, attachment imprisons us, creates suffering. Anger also creates suffering. So in such an environment, we need to pray to our Buddha and our Guru. And as we have discussed yesterday, we should try to raise on such states like mind. The self nature of mind is emptiness, and the essence of mind is luminous. Luminosity here refers to a wisdom, not just empty space. And mind is spontaneous. We don't have to make any effort. That mind will think continuously. It just comes out, flows out like a river. We don't have to make any effort, and we don't have to encourage. So this is this is what the essence of mind refers to. And now, because we have not realized, we have to just use words to understand what this means. And when you practice more and more, gradually we will experience what this really means, and finally, we will come to realization. However, we need to practice every day, and when we be able to reach such level state.
要解脱是不是很难的？
94, yeah. Oh. So in Bardo beings, as I mentioned earlier, they don't have a physical body, just mental body. So they can't take solid food. Yeah. So according to Bardo told, if you burn something, and with the prayers, they're able to receive, they're able to smell, and they get satisfied. You don't have to burn a lot. Sometimes I see people burning like bags of things. But I don't think it's so necessary. As long as you are doing good with a good intention and you're focused and somebody knows what he or she is doing, then definitely the beings in Bardo are able to receive and satisfy their needs. And this is what Bardo Toto says. But today I've also seen many places people tend to burn cars, telephone, houses, but I'm not really sure where this comes from, and I don't know how they will really receive. Yes, I heard there's a traffic jam in Bardo now because you burn too many cars. I remind you yesterday, don't forget to burn sunglasses. The Buddha's light is so strong, you can't.
还带太光太亮哦，它那个太阳眼镜可以挡。
Beings in Bardo, there's so much of pain. So Bardo Toto explained that they try to enter the body, their body at least 9 times. And because of karma, you can't really enter, no matter how you try. So the suffering is tremendous. And Bardo being feels when their bodies are burned, when their bodies are cut into pieces. When we keep the dead body inside the fridge, they tend to, because they have so much of attachment, they tend to feel cold, and when the body is burned, they tend to feel hot. So that is the time that we need to remind, according to Bardo Toto, because we abuse the body, we don't think like that dead person, yeah? So that's the time that we have to keep reminding the Bardo being through recitation of Bardo Toto, or if you have practiced this life, you will, recall that I'm Bardo. This is meaningless to feel and suffer. So I need to pray to my Yidam, I need to pray to my gurus, I need to pray to our Shoras. So this all, this all will help you, at least bring you temporary relief from such a difficult environment.
在中阴界的时候呢，得到解脱。
So this is not only about the beings in Bardo, it is also for us, how we prepare when time comes. It is important to learn about impermanence. Not only it helps in our next life, even this life. Impermanent will somehow help us to understand things are not really there forever. Everything is subject to change. So when you cling on something, nothing going to last forever. Sometimes friend asks me why this is happening, how come, and this is a part of impermanence. We all go through changes, and by learning impermanence, gradually, steadily, we are able to, have a less attachment, to everything, So, like Sahara again, one of his story, he relates to one story. He said that, wealth the attachment to wealth is not is a beginning of suffering, not beginning of happiness. He related to one story that he said there was a seagull. Is it that seagull? The bird lives in sea, and one day one big bird managed to catch a big fish, big fish, and the bird was so happy, flying happily. Okay, I'm going to enjoy my good meal, flying in the sky, Then suddenly, when the bird looked behind, there were hundreds of other birds chasing this bird. And then this bird tried to fly as much as fast as possible. The faster the bird flies, the faster other birds tend to chase the bird. And after some time, the bird was so fed up. Okay, now man, let it go. He let it go, the fish. And when the bird looked behind, whoever managed to catch the fish, the bird is chased again. The suffering was endless. So therefore, Sara say that, if you cling to something, you're going to suffer, and no matter how hard you pray, you're going to suffer, because the thing that you're holding is a part of suffering. If you hold fire inside your palm and you say, "Oh, Mani Padme Buddha, please bless me, let it be cold," it will burn you. Even praying Buddha won't help you. What you need to just do is just throw the fire. Similarly, what Buddha is teaching us here is to practice detachment, and it doesn't come overnight. It's something that you can't done right away. Sometimes we tend to think very, very easy. That is the problem. I will explain. They call instant realization of impermanence. It's called instant realization of impermanence. That is dangerous.
一切是无常的。
I tell you a story. I used to have one student, but now he disappeared. I don't know where he is. I couldn't find him. After he found his girlfriend, he disappeared. He had a very good job. That's what he told me. He had, property. He had a beautiful wife. And I don't know what happened one day. Suddenly, in a blue moon day, probably he thought that life is suffering, impermanence. So he divorced his wife, gave up his good job, career, sold his property, and he went to Taiwan to become a monk. And unfortunately, what happened was the temple he was supposed to be monk was in Taichung, and at that year there was a big earthquake struck Taichung, and the whole temple was demolished. So he had no place to stay now. So he was very upset. He returned back to Hong Kong. Then he came to me. He said that I'm looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for a new job, and I'm looking for a place to stay. Therefore, this I call instant realization of impermanence. So take your time, be wise. You will have a lot of time. Make sure that what you're doing is wise. Otherwise, you may blame Buddha. Okay, according to Bardo Teaching, our body, as we have learned, all the 100 deities, they reside out in our body. In the heart, all the peaceful deities, in the brain, all the woeful deities, and on the throat, all the Vidyadharas. And it's believe that there are two angels reside on our shoulder who keep all the accounts. What you do every day. You should be careful, and we shouldn't think that sometimes the angel sleeps. Or somehow the computer used by angel will malfunction. It never happens, or attacked by virus. So it never happens. So they will keep all the accounts. So when we die, okay, you have done this. Okay, this is what you have done. This is what you need to. What we're going to face. So everything is clearly recorded. So, and it's now in our hand what kind of future that we want to inherit. And this is the time that we have to make sure that what we do is right.
容易的得到解脱。
Okay. So now, can you 101? Okay. So now the time has come how to stop rebirth. Because we know the blessed place among the 6 realms is human being and God realm. And you know, we are not so happy in human realms, yeah? So we don't want to be human again. And because I don't want to see you in Singapore again next time. I want you to see with Amitabha Buddhas, yeah? So now there's a practice to stop, how to stop or prevent from entering human mother's womb. And somehow, if we have to reborn, then what kind of place we should choose. So that's what we're going to focus now.
再接着下来的开始。
So what this text says is like, one will see, and it becomes very attractive. One will see the intercourse between parents, okay? And then you, okay, I want to go, this is the chance I have. Then you try to enter. And then if you enter wrongly, then you may become a mosquito. You may become an elephant. You may become a mouse. So we need to choose the right place. So in order to prevent from entering, what we need to do is when you see the parents, you visualize in the form of yidam, okay, or union of your guru, and then merge yourself into their body. Yeah.
最好的这样的选择呢，而入胎。
Okay, and all, as we have learned earlier, try to rest on luminosity and emptiness. Our mind is luminous yet empty. Such concept that you need to develop and try to rest your mind on such state, and this will prevent us from entering mother's womb.
而且在那母胎而得到解脱。
Okay, so now these are the 5 methods how we prevent from entering mother's womb. So karmic display. Due to karmic display, one will see again the union of your parents, and that's the time that you need to visualize form of your yidam or guru, and then make offering and then have this unshakable devotion.
入这个母胎，而再重新的回到沙漠。
And again, because your wanting and wishing is so strong, you want to enter again. And once again, you have to generate stronger devotion, and you need to ask for blessing, courage, and because the Bardo journey is such a difficult journey, so we need to pray your yidams, gurus, so that I can cross this difficult journey.
而不再入这个母胎轮回。
So aggression, passion is the one will again imprison us, and basically there are 4 kinds of birth, from egg like birds and all the reptiles, and womb like a human being, and there are many animals like even dolphins. Spontaneously born. This refers to hungry ghosts, hell realm, and sometimes we wonder when you reborn in Amitabha Pure Land. I think one time I will ask, who will be our parents? Because when you born in Amitabha Pure, there's no such desire. So how can you reborn in Amitabha Pure Land? This is the question that we tend to have. We are miraculously born, spontaneously born. Okay. And there are other forms. Last form of birth is from moisture, like mosquitoes. Yeah. So when we prevent this 4 different births, then you won't be reborn. Yeah?
胎生或者是卵生。
So, this is how according to Bardo, how we are born as a male or female. When there is aggression, jealousy towards your father, and desire towards your mother, then you are born as a male. So you should remember if you want to be man, okay? And if you have intense envy, anger, and jealousy towards your mother, passion towards your father, then you will be reborn as a female. Very simple. So you have to work from now. Remember that before you enter. Then you are done.
而且它是倒反过来的。
And number 4 is closing entrance to womb. How we close that? By generating genuine sense of regret for your passion, for your aggression, because this will again imprison us in samsara. And one has to see everything is projection of our mind, and ignorance is the one that will keep samsara alive. And it's all up to us how we going to end samsara by overcoming aggression and passion. Okay, so this is something to remember.
那么第4个呢，就是我们也就不会再堕入这个娑婆轮回。
And attachment to self, is the one that creates the environment for existence. And in order to dismantle existence, we need to dismantle attachment to self by thinking about impermanence, thinking about interdependence, because this shows logically that nothing really exists, or nothing has inherent existence. Everything is dependent, which means nothing really true. Like for instance, I'm labeled as a Zurmang karma, and because there are so many factors involved. And if I remove part of my body, my head, my leg, arm, everything, you cannot really find a Zurmang karma. So simply when you put together and we simply label, ignorance simply labels as Zurmang karma. And that's how our life is built on. Therefore, it is not true, it is unreal. This is how, we can practice, and this also helps us to prevent from entering mother's womb. And this is the first step towards dismantling the existence that we have now.
堕入这个母胎，再来轮回。
Okay, I came across, even I heard from some, I think Kimbo Lama forgot, even Buddha said that, a person, when they are born, their physical body, they could be male or female, but their mind could be female. So physically you are male, but mentally you're a woman. And sometimes you're mentally you're a woman, physically you're a woman, but mentally you're a mind. So there are such cases, and this is all due to karma. So there is such thing that we have to just keep in our mind. Because sometimes when we see, and also when we do not understand, I think we sometimes tend to discriminate such people, such individuals. So I think everybody has a different karma, and it's best way to respect who they are because of their karma. It's not because of what they want to be, and this is simply because of their karma.
众生他自己本身业力的反应。
So this gives a good reason why we are able to help ourselves in Bardo. Firstly, we tend to have the quality of clairvoyance. We are able to, read mind, see things. Secondly, beings in Bardo, they are able to listen. They have this ability to listen when we read Bardo Total, when we make prayers and dedication. Third, they are eager to escape from such an environment. So the moment when we offer them a choice, they will take it. So it is very helpful. For they don't have a physical body, they have just a mental body, so easy to transform and change. And finally, they are 9 times more intelligent and cleverer than when we have a physical body. Therefore, this reason gives us to read Bardo Total, dedicate prayers for beings who are in Bardo. Okay.
机会就很大，所以这个是很重要的。
Okay, now you may take a picture. Anyway, what I will, because I think a lot of people wanted to have this information, so what I can do is I will leave this slide in our center, so you can contact center number, you can give email, so they can send to you, these slides. Now, among the 6 continents where you're supposed to choose, where there are many continents you can't go, it's no-go area. So the 2 places that we can choose. The first one is called Southern Continent. This is a human realm. Southern Continent is, I don't know, name is very fancy. Rose Apple Island. Wow, sounds very fancy. Rose Apple Island. Let's give it Rose Apple Island. Okay. Again, should go there. That means we can go there. It looks luxurious, beautiful place. Because compared to hell, full of fire, hungry ghost realm, is so the animal realm, so this is the place that we should go. Then again, when you go there, later I will explain what kind of mother or parents you should choose. So this is the place you should go there, okay? And the second place is God realm. Okay, that is, you will see beautiful multi-store temple with beautiful jewels and diamonds. But make sure that you don't see Dubai. And you may end up in Dubai because it's a so tall building. Yeah. So make sure it's not a Dubai. So because Dubai, there's yeah. So this is a beautiful place. So this is the place of God realms. So if you really need to reborn, and these are the 2 places that you should choose.
来讲解，其他还有所谓的下三道。
And from now on, you need to familiarize the place by reading Bardo Total and the environment where we should reborn. And also, we can look at the picture of Amitabha Buddha Tankas. Not just 2 places, we can also pray to reborn in Amitabha Pure Land. And there are many other Pure Lands that we can reborn. And now is the time that we should focus and then dedicate our practice and prayers, then we can reborn in these places. Because many times, even due to our karmic effect, one may think that I'm choosing the right place, but then you may end up choosing the lower place, such as hungry ghost and animal realm. So our focus has to be constantly there, our prayer should be there, our devotion to Triple Gem, to Guru, Zidam should be always present, or else we may end up with lower realm. So this is something critical, and we are in a very important juncture that we are now. So we should be fully focused. Yeah.
希望转身到更好的地方，所谓的净土。
So our aspirational prayer is very, very important. It's considered very auspicious, and it will come true. One good day, it will come true. So this is the reason why every end of the prayers we make this aspirational prayer to reborn in Amitabha Buddha, Pure Land. We make aspirational prayer to be, strong and helpful to all others. And we make aspirational prayer to be reborn and to be Buddha for the sake of all others. So similarly, even in Bardo, we should have a strong aspirational prayer to reborn in either God realm or human realm, to help others.
永生为本， 那么来做这样的发愿。
So suppose when you find a place, Rose Apple Island in the human realm, and then you see your parents. What you should look for is this a place where Buddhism is practiced and respected? Is my parents are Buddhists? That's what Bardo Teaching says. Okay? You cannot look for, are they living in bungalows? Have they parked Mercedes or BMW? No, this is not the way that we should look. Okay? We should look for where the place is Buddhist. Buddha Dharma is well respected and practiced. It is strictly according to Buddhism, and your parents are Buddhists. And when you find this requirement, fulfill this requirement, and with your prayers and enter, that you will definitely reborn as a human being or God realm. Otherwise, you may think I'm a human, but when you end up, you are like a donkey. So you can pray to reborn in the yogi families. You can pray to reborn in. I don't think there's a universal king now. In only a few kingdoms are left. So most importantly, wherever you're born in a place where Buddha Dharma exists, and they are Buddhists. Okay, this is the criteria, a very important part of the requirement. 15.
这个环境，那么我们才选择投生。
So that's all that I'd like to share this time with you all. In fact, I have included all the important information about Bardo discussions, and I will recommend to have book and read and look at the pictures of the deities, 100 deities. And very soon we will have a book in the center. Also you can buy from Amazon. Any book that you can get hold of, you should try to read as, at least few times, because life is impermanence. We may hope for something long and believe that I may live for 10, 20 years. But life is not guaranteed. We have seen, over again that nobody can guarantee, and anything can happen any moment. So, it is very important if we are wise to be prepared from now. When the moment comes, and that is too late. And now we have learned about Bardo, we have learned about the importance of such practices, and now is the time to begin to learn and practice Bardo.
的那个境界呢，可以得到解脱。
Okay, thank you, and I'm so happy this time that we have this moment to share Bardo discussion with all of you, and hopefully it will be very helpful to you. And make sure, and that you're only the one who could make all the differences. I'm just here to help and guide, and you are the one who could bring the result. Okay, so now we can have a few question and answer, then we'll leave it here. And tonight we have a Bardo initiation. So this time we have complete Bardo Chautu, Bardo teaching, Bardo initiation, and you will also start to do Bardo.
那么。
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. 6 p.m. I will see you, yeah, for the final.
现在上是一个